Hello everybody and welcome to 5-Minute Tech Tips. This is Dave Casuto with SF Tech Training, and in this 5-minute tech tip I want to show you how to work with flash fill in Excel. It's a very underutilized part of Excel that has really a lot of great utility. So I'm going to start off by showing you sort of like the long way to do things, and I'm going to show you the brilliant way that flash fill can actually accomplish the same thing. So we have these three names here, Mark, Baker, and then we have S, right? These three cells. And we want to basically like concatenate these, for example, right? And you'll notice that I have this very complicated looking formula, equal sign, I'm using the ampersand and all that stuff. And that pretty much accomplishes this. That's fantastic, right? But there's a lot of room for error and we got to memorize these things. So that could really maybe not be what we want to do. Another way you might consider is using the concatenate function. Okay, if you don't know what concatenate is, it just basically brings together these individual cells and then you separate it out by a comma and maybe a space, and then you bring in the next cell, then you have a space, etc. Also potentially very complicated. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all these. I'm going to show you how we can use concatenate for this. So all I'm going to do is tell Excel what I want to have as part of this. So I'm going to say Mark, actually what I'm going to do here, I'm going to say Baker, Mark, S, just like that. All right, so I'm giving Excel a little bit of a hint, and it's smart enough to kind of like understand what I'm pointing to after I do an autofill. So I'm going to click and drag down this way. I could also double click if you want to do autofill. So I'm going to do that. And you see Excel doesn't get it right the first time, as it does with autofill a lot of times. And Excel gives you this great little autofill options. You can see we can fill with formatting only, fill without formatting, or we have flash fill. So let's just go ahead and see what it does now. And just like that, magic. It understands what's inside of the adjacent cells to be able to then just fill in the blanks. I've given a little bit of a hint, so it says, oh, you know what? He just actually took Mark and Baker. Oh, but then he did the reverse. Oh, okay, so let's scramble this up, and it does it for all the other ones down below. It's really, really extraordinary. Okay, you can even do it with other things. Let's just come over to here, and let's say I want to combine some of these other factors in here. So I have these things here. I'm going to go ahead and just say Baker hyphen 1608. Going to double click this time. You can see what it does there, right? Pretty smart. You can understand why it might want to do that. I'm going to say no thanks, flash fill, and look at that. It's taken all of those last names, put in the hyphen and the respective number. It's pretty amazing how smart it is to get that. Let's take a look at a couple of other examples. In this example, I want to change all of the caps, or in this case, as Excel calls it, upper, into the sentence case that I would like to have it as. Okay, so I don't want it to be just like this, and I also want to bring them together. So I'm just going to type it out like this, Mark, Baker, just like that, and Excel is going to understand what I'm trying to do, bringing these two together, and also making them go from uppercase to regular case. Do that, flash fill, and that is done. Tremendous. With this one, I'm going to do something very similar. I'm going to say 9, capital C, and then the 0. I'm going to add in another hyphen. Okay, 904. Just like that. So it's very important that you get all the characters right. So I've made my letters in caps, and I've also added on a little hyphen there. Double click, flash fill, and there you go. So you can use this for so many things. It's really one of my favorite tools. Very underutilized, very not really understood very often. So check it out. Try it on a lot of different examples. You know, whenever you feel like you have to concatenate or change the text string of something into something that you know is going to take a long time. Because if you look at at this would have to be like a replace or a find or a len function. You'd have to have it go in 3 spaces and then add in a hyphen. This one you'd have to go, from upper to a different case, right? So I mean, it's really can get very complicated. That's what flash fill is for. All right, so hopefully this was helpful for you. Go ahead and try out some other examples on your own. And if you have any requests for me, you can find me on YouTube and also LinkedIn, and also go to SF Tech Training, and you can email me through there as well. And look forward to hearing from you, and see you in the next video. Thanks.